Hey folks, all right, so welcome back to the Hearing Club. Now today, it's a very special day. We get to check out another brand new artificial intelligence or AI powered hearing aid that is going to be available this month, October 15th. And those of you who are Hearing Club members may be familiar with this brand because I've done a review of their first hearing aid, the ELEHEAR Alpha Pro. Now, the Alpha Pro was a pretty decent hearing aid and ELEHEAR's first hearing aid. Well, they're already at it again with a brand new model, the ELEHEAR Beyond. Now, I've been communicating with this company since the first review, okay? Sharing my personal experience, my personal feedback. They've also seen all of your guys' comments and feedback as well. Those of you that do leave comments, of course, whether good or bad, and that's great. Well, they've decided to take all that information and apply what they've learned to this new hearing aid. And they have made an amazing product that is going to help you guys. I know it sounds corny, but I don't use amazing very lightly. You guys know that watching my reviews. So I'm so excited to share this with you guys, and I haven't said anything yet because I wanted to make sure that this thing actually worked before, opening my big mouth. With the first hearing aid, the Alpha Pro, there was, and I mentioned this in the review, there was like some kind of electronic interference noise. If you had the volume up past like halfway, you started getting this weird, I don't know, really hard to explain, but some of you guys noticed it too. The Alpha Pro wasn't a programmable hearing aid. There was no hearing test that you would do. It was a decent hearing aid for the price, but they have went above and beyond with this new hearing aid, and they perform exceptionally well in noise, something that almost all over-the-counter hearing aids suffer from. Most over-the-counter hearing aids, if they're even good, if they have a decent sound quality, will sound great, when it's quiet, but in noise, I normally have to take them out to hear better, but not with these Beyonds. And the new ELEHEAR Beyond hearing aids perform so well, they actually won the Expert Choice Award from Hear Advisor for 2024 for over-the-counter hearing aids. Now, just like the predecessor, the Alpha Pro, this Beyond hearing aid is also not programmable, and you will not be taking a hearing test. The Beyond will not be programmed to fit your audiogram. Most other over-the-counter hearing aids that use this model, no hearing test, not programmable, they just never really wowed me, As soon as I find out there's no test, no actual programming, I normally just kind of dismiss the hearing aid, and I'm not surprised that they don't sound anything close to a real prescription hearing aid. But this one's different. Even though you're not going to be doing a hearing test, and these are not fit to your audiogram, they did so well. I wore these for 2 weeks, guys, 2 whole weeks at work at Costco. I wanted to make sure that I truly tested these, inside and out, just to make sure I wasn't imagining things. And I never once had to take these off, not once. Now, even though these are not programmable, they're still using the NAL NL2 fitting algorithm. So NAL-NL2 is the best practices fitting algorithm that everybody should be using if you want to hear everything. And these are using the NAL-NL2 algorithm. Now, these are RICL style hearing aids, meaning there's the receiver and it goes in your canal. The receiver is actually in the canal. It's not built in to the housing of the hearing aid. They have Bluetooth, they're hands-free, they work on Apple and Android devices, and you can connect these things to pretty much anything that allows a Bluetooth connection, like a PC. They have an app with noise reduction and microphone directionality. So you know I'm big on that. My only complaint, my only issue is the size. These are definitely bigger than the Alpha Pros. They're a little bit bulky, but honestly, it doesn't really bother me at all. They feel fine. I don't care if people can see my hearing aids. I'm wearing them right now. You really can't see them unless somebody's looking directly behind you. But I wanted to let you guys know they are bigger than the Alpha Pros. Now, I want to talk about some of the upgrades from the Alpha Pros to the Beyond because they're pretty important. So one of the improvements or upgrades is the price. The Beyond will be $399 when it comes out on the 15th. When they first let me know what the price was going to be, I wasn't expecting much. A $400 hearing aid. I've gone through so many of these, but these are hands down the best sounding hearing aid in this price range, in my opinion, guys. And I've tried and I've tested a lot of hearing aids. You guys know this. And I'm sure after the review, you guys are going to want to go and get your hands on these things because it's going to be a glowing review. I'm not going to lie. If you guys want to try them out, I'm going to have a link in the description and it will take you right to their website, the legit website. You don't have to worry about being scammed and you guys can purchase these and try them out. You're going to get a 45-day trial period and a 1-year warranty, just like most other OTC brands out there. Now, some of the other upgrades from the Alpha Pros is the sound quality. They've made a lot of updates to ELEHEAR's VO Clear technology. That's their proprietary technology that pretty much runs these things, all the advanced stuff. These also have a higher frequency range than the predecessor, meaning they can amplify even lower frequencies and even higher frequencies than the Alpha Pros could. There's a new tinnitus therapy feature in the app, which was not available with the Alpha Pros and not available in a lot of hearing aids. Even some prescription hearing aids like Costco's hearing aids, we don't have the tinnitus therapy in the app, even though I don't think it's the greatest thing, but a lot of you guys want it. A lot of you guys are disappointed that it's not in the Costco hearing aids, and it's in the Alpha Beyond. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'll show you guys how it works. Now, another thing, upgrade from the old ones is these actually come with both open, closed, and tulip tips. And also the charging case is a little bit smaller than the Alpha Pros, so much easier to carry around with you. That's pretty much the main stuff that's been upgraded from the predecessor, the Alpha Pros. Now, what separates these hearing aids from others? It's a great question. Well, one of them is the price. $399 for all these features that I'm going to talk about is pretty significant. These hearing aids should be more expensive than $399 based on what I've seen, what I've heard, and me using them. You've also got the AI technology that ELEHEAR calls VO Clear. This is a technology that powers the higher than average sound quality you're going to get from these, and it also powers the feedback control using a deep neural network, DNN. The same type of model that Demont uses with their Philips and Oticon hearing aids. So what this actually means is they've trained the chip, using AI to be able to understand what sounds you want to hear and what sounds you don't. The hearing aid's job, or the deep neural network's training, has taught the hearing aid how to separate those sounds and give you the speech without giving you all the background noise that we don't want. And that's how I was actually able to wear these for 2 weeks at Costco without ever struggling to understand anybody, any of my patients, any of the people at the front counter, while the Costco store is providing tons of background noise. You guys know how it is in there. And that's why I test these at Costco. It is so noisy. It's a great place to see how well they're actually going to do in the real world. Another really nice feature is the OTA updates. OTA means over the air, so over the internet. So with some more expensive traditional prescription hearing aids, not all of them, but some, in order to get the actual hearing aid updated, not the app, but the actual firmware of the hearing aid updated, like the Philips hearing aids, you actually have to go to the office. We hook up the hearing aids to the fitting software, and that's where we do the firmware update. But with these, the ELEHEAR Beyonds, you can update the app and the actual hearing aids right in the app. If there's a fix or something that they want to improve or something that they want to introduce, you don't have to take them down to the office. You just do it right there on your phone. These hearing aids also have dual microphones, all right? One up front and one in the rear, just like real prescription hearing aids. So what do you get with dual mics? Dual mics allow two things. One, you're going to get the speech directionality or the speech focus option. So if you don't want to hear the people, on the sides of you or behind you, you can change the directionality right in the app, and the hearing aids will focus just what's in front. Like if you're having dinner, if you want to talk to your husband or your wife, you can just put it in the speech focus mode, front facing, and boom, much better. Dual mics also allow the noise reduction to work, and you'll again find both of these options in the app. Now, a lot of over-the-counter hearing aids suffer from feedback, the whistling, the screeching, the squealing noise, especially when you start turning the hearing aids up. Constantly, having to push the hearing aids in further to make sure it's a perfect fit, or what you have to do a lot of times is just turn the volume down, which defeats the whole purpose. But not with these. The artificial intelligence basically takes care of all the feedback. I never had an issue once, and I was able to turn the volume all the way up with no feedback whatsoever. Another amazing feature that I've never even seen in a hearing aid app is this translator and transcribe. I've used this myself, and it's amazing. So transcribe. So as you're talking, let's say you're talking to somebody that speaks Spanish like I do all the time, the hearing aids will actually pick up your voice and transcribe it, meaning voice to text. It'll type out what you're saying on the screen. And then the other person that you're talking to, as it's typing out, can see in their language what you're saying. It is incredible. So I'm Hispanic, but my mom never taught me Spanish. She doesn't know Spanish, and my Spanish is terrible. But I talk to a lot of Spanish-speaking patients, and I've used this before myself, and it's awesome. Let's get down to the basics, all right? So first of all, let's talk about charging. These will last all day. I wore these all day from my workout in the morning, at 8 o'clock, the drive to the gym, about 45 minutes, my whole 8-hour shift, and then the drive home, another 45 minutes, and I never even got the low battery notification. I easily got like 15 hours plus out of these hearing aids. And depending on what you're doing, you should be able to get 15 to 20 hours on a single charge. If you're doing streaming, listening to podcasts, you know how it goes. It uses more of the battery. But if you're just doing nothing but using them as hearing aids, no streaming or anything, you can get 20 hours out of these. Another new thing is the charger does a quick charge, kind of like the new DeMont hearing aids, the Philips and Oticon. You could plug these things in for 15 minutes and get 6 hours out of them. And I've had to do this myself. I always do it. I'll forget to charge my hearing aids. I'll take them to work anyway. I'll just charge them quick. I put these on for like 15, 20 minutes and I got a good 6-7 hours and I made it through the rest of the shift. The charger's of course portable and you can get up to 4 full charges. That's a downgrade from the Alpha Pros. The Alpha Pros, you can get like 7 charges out of a fully charged case. These will give you 4. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you have 3 different types of domes, which is great. I love that these have tulip domes. With my high frequency loss, all I ever need is open domes. And even with open domes, I have no feedback. But if you need something more closed or maybe halfway between closed or open, that's where the tulips come in. If you have more loss than I do and you need a lot more volume and you're getting feedback, that's when you're going to switch to the closed dome. So it's really great to see that you have 3 different options with a over-the-counter hearing aid. These also have replaceable receivers, another thing that makes these really stand out from other cheaper over-the-counters. And they also come with a measuring device, which I'll show you guys here on the screen. So if you need a longer receiver or a shorter receiver, you can actually measure the length, from the top of your ear to the canal opening or the aperture. And if you need a different size, you can order one from ELEHEAR. Another great thing about replaceable receivers is, which a lot of over-the-counter hearing aids don't have, is if the receiver goes bad, and it will, I've told you guys that a million times, that's usually the first thing that goes bad with the hearing aid, you don't have to replace the whole hearing aid. You don't have to get a new one. You just take the receiver off, get a new one, plug it right in. And I'll show you guys how to do that. Now, one thing I noticed right away is the receivers did keep coming out and migrating out like all hearing aids do. And there's no sport lock with these they don't come with them as of right now. I'm talking to ELEHEAR to find out if that's going to change. I might have just got a prototype, which doesn't include everything. But for now, you can just use the WS Audiology, the Rexton Reach or the Signia IX. Those sport locks will fit. I'm using the power level receiver size, so the largest receiver for the Rexton Reach, the sport lock for that. So that will fit like a glove and it works perfect. Once I used the sport locks and put them on there. I had no more issues with it coming out. It stays put, super comfortable, and these things aren't going anywhere. The hearing aids also, of course, come with wax filters. I'm pretty sure all the different brands are aware now that if you don't have wax filters, you're going to have a problem. Well, ELEHEAR has always known that, and we've never been disappointed in this regard. They're very easy to remove and replace, and you will get some wax filters with the hearing aids. Now, these hearing aids have the newest Bluetooth version, 5.3. They didn't mention anything about Auracast, so I wouldn't expect Auracast to be compatible with these, but we'll see. They do have 5.3, so maybe since the Beyond hearing aids have that over-the-air update capability, maybe we'll see an update, a firmware update in the future. I don't know. But if I hear anything, I'll let you guys know, and we'll just kind of see what happens. Now, as far as the Bluetooth quality, these are really great. Whenever I do a Bluetooth test or a streaming test, I call my father because he loves to talk. And I was able to have, we talked about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes today, and never once did it change from just the left working to just the right working like I experienced. Even with my jobbers, I experienced that. Nothing. Never had a single issue with it dropping the left for a second or the right or switching back and forth. Now, the streaming sound quality is okay. It's not the best, but remember, if you want really good streaming sound quality, the type of dome can also help or make the streaming quality better or worse. So if you want the best streaming quality, use a closed or occluding dome. That's actually why headphones sound so much better when listening to music and all that stuff, because they're completely occluding. They either go all the way in your canal and block everything off, occluding, or they wrap around your ears, also occluding. Another thing about the streaming, and the reason I mention this is to keep it honest, is the phone calls had plenty of volume for me, but when I was listening to a podcast or music, the volume, I just couldn't get it loud enough for me to really enjoy it. There were times when I was at the gym where I was trying to understand what the podcaster was saying, and I just couldn't turn it up loud enough. This is definitely something that I would like to see improved, but I do have direct communication with the ELEHEAR team, so they're working on it, and I let them know what was going on, so I'm almost positive we'll be seeing an update very shortly, maybe by the time they're released, that addresses the issue and, lets us have a little bit more volume when streaming. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is the microphone on the actual hearing aid for phone calls. So these are hands-free. So when you're on the phone, you're not actually using the phone's microphone. You're going to be using the hearing aid microphone, okay, to pick up your voice. So you can leave your phone in your pocket or you could put it in the other room and your voice will be picked up by this microphone, the one on the hearing aid. I hear so many people complaining that when they make a phone call, the other person that they're talking to is saying, I can't hear you very well, or speak into the phone, or you sound like you're really far away. Well, this happens all the time with expensive hearing aids. Well, I specifically asked my dad, how did my voice sound? Could he hear me okay? He said it was nice and clear, nice and loud, no problems at all. So the microphones on these hearing aids with the streaming and the phone calls work and sound great. And so does the Bluetooth range. I was able to put my phone in my office and go walk around in the living room. I shut the door and no degrading of the sound quality, no cutting in or out. I heard no change at all. It worked fine. And the reason I mention this is because of your guys' comments. After reading your comments, I know how very important streaming can be for you folks and how important it is to be able to talk to your loved ones if something's going on, something important. So Bluetooth and streaming is a lot more important than a lot of folks realize. And with these, you're going to do just fine. Another thing about the Bluetooth is these can connect to pretty much any device that accepts a Bluetooth headset. So I was able to connect these to my PC, my laptop, my Mac. It didn't take anything at all. Just shut them off, turn them back on, and boom, they popped right up. I know there's some TVs out there that allow some kind of Bluetooth connection, and these should work with that as well. I'll have to get one so I can do some more testing, but I have old junkers right now. And they also did work on my Roku, so you can actually use your Roku streaming box to stream the TV audio directly from, your TV right to your hearing aids. So if you guys want to see how to do that, check out the video I made. I'll put it up here on the screen, and I'll put a link in the description for you. Now, when it comes to durability, these aren't the most durable, all right? Or at least they're not rated for super high durability. They are rated IPX5. Remember, X is just a placeholder. There's actually no dust or dirt ingress protection on these, or they're not rated for that anyway. I don't think dust is really going to be a problem, but they're not rated for it. But they do score a 5 for the liquid, which is pretty much sweat-proof, weatherproof, not waterproof, but like sweat proof and maybe a little bit of rain. You can definitely wear these to the gym. I had no problem. I wore these every time I went to the gym for about 2 weeks, like I said, and I sweat profusely, all right? And I had no trouble at all. I know some of those older hearing aids will actually shut off when they get too wet from sweat inside, so didn't experience that at all. These also have an advanced feature called impulse noise reduction. Some people call it transient noise reduction, like Philips, Oticon. So what that means is impulse, sudden, loud, sudden sounds. These sounds are not going to be over amplified by the hearing aids. They're controlled so that these really loud sounds aren't uncomfortable for the user. This happens so quickly due to the advanced chip that's basically making millions of calculations a second. This is normally something you're only going to find in more expensive prescription hearing aids. So anytime there's a loud shutting of a door or a loud coal truck driving by, remember I live in the coal region in Pennsylvania. It's just not amplified, not over amplified, and not uncomfortable. Now you've also got your standard buttons up and down on each side, so you can control the volume independently. If you want to change the left only. If you want to change the right, change the right. You can also use them to power off the hearing aid. So the up button, the volume up, is actually power off. You hold it for about 5 or 6 seconds. And just like every other rechargeable hearing aids out there, when you put them in the charger, it shuts them off. When you take them out, it turns them on. And when you take them out, it also puts them in Bluetooth pairing mode, which we'll cover that here in a little bit. So the most important thing, sound quality. I know that's what you guys have all been waiting for. These got all these great features. They've got noise reduction. They've got speech focus, microphone directionality, blah, blah, blah. How does all this stuff actually work? Are these actually good sounding hearing aids? How do they work at Costco? Well, let me tell you all about it. I'm trying to make this not sound like a commercial or an ad to go buy these hearing aids because I know that's how it sounds. But who cares? I'm honest with you guys. I have no problem saying this doesn't work, that doesn't work, whatever. For a $399 hearing aid, okay, $400, I don't think you're going to find a better sounding hearing aid out there or a better performing hearing aid. I don't. The sound quality isn't quite up to par with, let's say, Jabra, Resound, Signia, the new Rexton Reaches, the Philips hearing aids. No over-the-counter hearing aid ever will be. Not even close. But these ELEHEAR Beyonds, they do get kind of close. I'm not going to lie. Not close as far as sound quality, but performance, okay? The performance, in my opinion, is that of a prescription hearing aid. It is. And what I mean is I can hear and understand speech very clearly, even when there's a bunch of noise. As far as me being able to hear folks when they're talking to me or even when they're talking to someone else, especially in a noisy environment, these exceeded all my expectations. Was not expecting this at all. These are amazing hearing aids, folks. If you can get past the bulkiness and the somewhat larger size, bigger than the Alpha Pros, you've got to try them. Based on the sound quality and features, I would probably value these easily over $500, $600, maybe even $700 hearing aids. Now, this is solely based on how well I actually did with them. And you guys know I don't hold anything back. I've reviewed $900 hearing aids, took them to Costco, and I had to take them out because the noise was just too much. I'm actually wearing these Beyonds as my main hearing aids and have been for the last 2 weeks. Loud background sounds like the hand dryer, the bustling of the store, the air handlers right above where I stand at the front desk. I just didn't have any problems at all. It was pretty crazy and completely unexpected. And one of the nicest things about these hearing aids is I didn't have to use the app. I didn't have to turn on the noise reduction. I'm going to show you guys when we talk about the app next what I'm talking about, but there's an automatic mode, okay? Basically, the automatic mode handles the noise reduction and the speech directionality. And I just left it on automatic. I never had to change it. And again, yes, I'm aware this sounds like a commercial or an ad to go buy these hearing aids. I'm just telling you guys my experience. And I had a great experience with these. I still am. I'm still wearing them. I'm not saying these are as good as Jabra or any prescription premium hearing aids. They're not. But for an over-the-counter hearing aid, these were just phenomenal. I can't overstate it. These were great. And I'm actually excited for you guys. I want you to go and try these out. And I'll tell you what, if what I'm saying is not true, and remember, everybody has their own experience, but if you have a terrible experience, leave it in the comments. Let me know. Let other people know how you guys did with them. When it comes to toxic comments like, you're fat or your skin's too oily, why are you even in front of the camera? I delete those, but I do not delete any negative feedback about the hearing aids or people's experiences. If you guys want to know what people are really experiencing, look at the comments. and I want you guys to try these. Don't do a disservice to yourself. Try these hearing aids if you're still looking for a $400, $500, $600 pair of hearing aids. All right. I'll tell you what, I was driving on my way to work this morning, and for the first time, I heard this weird rattling in my Mustang. Never heard it before. And I was wearing the ELEHEARs. I was on my way to the gym, then to work. And I'm like, do you hear that, Jack? And he's like, yeah, it always does that. So even with my prescription hearing aids that I've worn, other over-the-counter hearing aids that I've worn, Jabras, Philips, Rextons, when I'm testing them out, never heard it before. But I heard it with these ELEHEAR Beyonds. And you know what? Even if you have a main pair of hearing aids that you like to wear, your expensive hearing aids, I know the value of having a backup pair. And I know a lot of folks that are looking for a cheaper backup pair of hearing aids. Try them, guys. Use these as your backup pair. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. And I'm just really excited, you know, and I don't get excited a lot over hearing aids, but I'm pretty excited about these. Now, let's talk about the app and all the cool things that you can find in there, including the support if you need help, the tinnitus feature, all that stuff. So one of the things I love most about these hearing aids is just how ridiculously easy it is to connect it to your phone and use the app. So all you do is you just take the hearing aids out of the charger, you open up your Bluetooth, you select the hearing aid and connect to it, and then you just open up the app and you're good to go. You open up the app, you select Beyond, and boom, they're connected. No hassle, couldn't be easier. Now the app itself is great. I like it. It works just fine. A lot of good options. It's just a little bit busy on this first screen. So first of all, I'm just going to go over the basics of the app itself. So on the very top, you've got your battery indicators, and then you've got your volume for the left and right. You can change those individually, or you can change them both at the same time, just like pretty much every other app out there. And then you have the speech enhance. The speech enhance pretty much takes care of the directionality and the noise reduction level automatically using ELEHEAR's VO Clear AI technology. But if you want to control the noise reduction yourself, like you just want to max it out, you can go ahead and just crank it up to high, and then you could select which way you want the microphones to pick up sound, either from the front or 360. Now, if you leave it on auto enhance, it takes care of all of that for you depending on your surroundings. I'm going to be honest, guys, I leave it on auto enhance and everything sounds great. If I have trouble with the hearing aid, I let you guys know, and I had zero trouble with these. It's crazy. Now, the tuning is basically where you're going to set your treble, your mids, your bass, but it does it in a way that I don't like, and normally I hate how this is set up. Normally, I like to do a hearing test. I like the hearing aids to be programmed based off of that test, and then I like to be able to use a 3-band equalizer to adjust the lows, highs, and mids myself. But with this, all you get is basically treble or bass. And you know, if you want more treble, you go brighter. If you want more bass, you go deeper. You go to the bottom. And you do that for each ear. There's no hearing test with these. And I hate how these are set up this way, but with these hearing aids, it worked just fine. Put both of them to a level that I like. I like a lot of treble because I have a high frequency loss, and I set them both about 8 or 9, and I hear everything. I don't miss words at work. I don't ask people to repeat themselves. This just works. And this is probably one of the first over-the-counter hearing aids with this kind of setup that I've used that actually works. So I'm going to start having more of an open mind when it comes to hearing aids that are not programmed based off of your hearing loss. This allows you to do it yourself. Once you get all that set up, that is pretty much it, folks. There's not a whole lot about this app. And I wore these all day at work for about a week and a half because I just didn't think, I was like, what is going on here? I haven't had to take the hearing aids out. It's noisy as heck over here by our department, and I never had to take them out once like I've had to with so many other over-the-counter hearing aids. Now, if you want a boost for the volume when you're listening to, podcasts, phone calls, make sure you have that phone call boost on. I always have the phone call boost on. I like to have my phone calls nice and loud, so make sure you have that on. And then you've got the tinnitus feature. So now if you want to use the tinnitus therapy, this is going to help you with your tinnitus. It basically plays a sound in the background so that it kind of masks or covers up your tinnitus. And this is a feature that a lot of people want in their hearing aids. And this is not available in the Costco hearing aids for whatever reason. But ELEHEAR has it. And the way it works is you select the sound that you want to hear instead of the tinnitus. Now, still to me, I think all these tinnitus therapy options are kind of, I don't use them because you're just introducing another sound that's competing with your understanding of speech. But for those of you folks that really struggle with tinnitus, this can help you. And some people, the tinnitus is so bad that they'd rather hear something else. And what you're going to do is you're just going to select the sound you want, and you're going to basically control the volume of it. And what you want to do is you want to start off where you don't really hear much, just your tinnitus, and you want to keep turning it up until you no longer hear the tinnitus. And then you just close it. You could do multiple sounds at the same time. You could do one sound if you want. And like, as you can see now, I have 4 different sounds, and I can control the volume of each one. But you're probably not going to want to do that, but that's how it works, folks. There's pink noise, there's white noise, there's different soothing sounds. Maybe you could use this to help you fall asleep. But it's very easy to use. You just select the sound you want, you click down here, and then you can control how much you're hearing. And if you get, let's say you like a little bit of rain and a little bit of pink noise, you like the rain at like, I don't know, 25, pink noise a little bit higher, well, you can save that as a favorite, and you can call it, whatever, and save it, and now you have it in your favorites. So you can either start from scratch, select the sound, select the volume, or you can go to your favorites because this one helps you. The app also has a noise meter, so it will tell you how much environmental noise you're being subjected to, which is kind of cool. ELEHEAR is the only app I've ever seen with their Alpha and their Beyond that has that. You can also use the remote microphone option. This is like a partner mic or a Roger mic. If you've ever heard of that, that's what this is. You can use your phone as a microphone. So if you're having trouble hearing your wife in a noisy environment, put the phone right next to her, turn it up, and her voice will be directly streamed right into your ears. Or you could place this right in front of your TV speakers if you're having trouble with the TV. Really, really nice feature. I'm glad they have it in there. And then another great thing about this app is the OTA, or over-the-air update. So if there's an issue or if there's something that they want to improve, all you do is you just go into your settings, which is the hamburger menu, my device. You could check your firmware of the actual hearing aids. And as you can see now, there's already an update available. So just hit update now, and boom, it'll update your hearing aids. So really, really great. You don't have to take your hearing aids to your fitter to see if there's an update. You don't have to take them in there to do the update. Everything is available right here on your phone. So if you need any help with your hearing aids, you need support, just hit the settings button, go to support, and then you can get all your support right there. You don't have to pay for any of it. It is completely free. And then of course, if you want to contact ELEHEAR, you know how you buy something online and it's not working or you can't figure it out, and you just cannot find a phone number for this company at all. They only do email, or they only do texting or chatting, but you just want to talk to somebody. ELEHEAR's phone number is right there. So this next feature in the app caught me off guard, caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it to be here. When I saw it, I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll check it out. I gotta be thorough. It ended up, honestly, folks, being the coolest part of the app, my favorite part of the app, and that is a translator and transcribe tool. I have a lot of Hispanic speaking folks, so they normally have to bring a translator. Well, what this does is you open up the translator and it will transcribe your voice. Whatever you say will be written down on the screen in English. And then on the top part of the screen that your patient is looking at, or your friend or whoever you're talking to, it will actually type it out in Spanish or whatever language you choose to translate it to. So as you're talking in real time, it's typing out to them in their language what you're saying. It is amazing. So what you want to do is you want to turn the hearing aids off and then back on. Now what you're going to want to do is also turn the phone off and then back on. All right, folks, now we're going to take a look at the hearing aid prescription feature chart. This is a chart that shows you most of the really important features that are found in all prescription hearing aids, but not all over-the-counter hearing aids. So this kind of gives you a look at what features the hearing aids have, what's important, and it kind of will give you an idea of how close these are to prescription hearing aids, and we'll also look at the price you're paying per feature. So if a hearing aid is super expensive, like $2,000, but it only has 3, 4, maybe 5 of these features, you're paying a lot for just a few features. But on the flip side, if you have a $399 set of hearing aids that has all 5 of those features or all 7 of those features, you're paying way less money for the same amount or even more features. So it kind of gives you an idea of the value. If you guys want to see a little more detailed explanation, check out my over-the-counter hearing aid buying guide. All right, so number 1 on the chart is, are they programmable? They're not, so they get 0 points for that. If the hearing aids had you take a hearing test and program the hearing aids based off that test, your audiogram, then it would get the point. These hearing aids do have wax filters, a very important feature in all prescription hearing aids. They have the IPX5 durability, so they don't quite get the durability rating for that. They do streaming, which is very important. I found out how important it is. So it does streaming, and it does streaming great after the new update that they've already done to the firmware. The streaming volume is not an issue. These have amazing feedback suppression. It uses AI for that, so it gets the point for that. I never had any issues with any feedback whatsoever. Maximum volume didn't matter. They also have a front directional mode and a 360, so it gets the point for that. Most of your cheaper over-the-counter hearing aids don't have that. And they also have an equalizer. You can change it from bright or deep, treble or bass. It's not the best, but it works great. I like to have a 3-band. I'd like to have a 12-band equalizer, but it does have somewhat of an equalizer. So it gets 5 out of the 7 points that a real prescription hearing aid would have. So it's pretty close. Now the price per feature you're paying, these are $399. So if we take the $399 and we divide that by the amount of features it has, which is 5, you're looking at just $80 per feature. So this is, in my opinion, an incredible value. Now this is just my opinion, folks. I'm not saying these are the best out there, but for the price, you're getting a damn good hearing aid. That's going to do it for the video, guys. I know it was a little bit longer one, but well worth it in my opinion. Again, if you guys want to try these, I'll have a direct link to the website where you can pick these up. Again, $399, 45-day trial, 1-year warranty. And yeah, man, give them a shot. They sound good. They've definitely got my approval. And I don't normally say all this good stuff about hearing aids. You guys know that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all your guys' support. And I have a long list of people that have donated that I need to get to, but that'll be in the next video. All right. I did not forget about you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep leaving comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you guys want to see more honest reviews for these hearing aids. Oh, and I'm going to see if ELEHEAR, because they did it last time, I'm going to see if they'll do a free giveaway again. So if they do, and I could talk them into it, me and Jack will do a live stream. I'll let everybody know well in advance. And if you are in the live stream, you are going to be in the drawing for the free pair of hearing aids. They'll be sent directly from ELEHEAR right to your door, just like our good friend Lauren, who has a pair of free ELEHEAR Alpha Pros. All right, that's it. Have a great day, everybody. Let's get hearing.